Why just the two of them? What really happened in Los Angeles? No other members were present, but Taehyung and Jungkook actually made matching tattoos with hidden meanings that kept ARMY glued. Is this a harbinger of separation, betrayal, or a secret promise that only the two of them understand? Why did all this happen after a live broadcast that left many fans crying with disappointment? Finally revealed. No other members were present. Taehyung and Jungkook in LA made matching tattoos for this purpose, among the glistening lights of Los Angeles. In a tattoo studio hidden behind concrete buildings and bustling traffic, two familiar figures stood in silence. They don't bring crowds. Does not carry the media spotlight. Just the two of them. Without RM, without Jimin, without Jin, without J-Hope, without Suga. Only Taehyung and Jungkook. Why? Why only them? What is the real meaning of their togetherness this time? Is this just a casual trip, or is there something much deeper and more heartwarming that no one knows about? This question has echoed in the minds of the ARMY since July 16, 2025. That day, the world seemed to come to a standstill for 11 minutes. Only 11 minutes, but enough to shake the global fandom. The unexpected Instagram live broadcast between Taehyung and Jungkook became the starting point of something much bigger than just an impromptu live. A session that seemed light, full of jokes, and interspersed with an emotional silence that felt like a hidden message. Why did Taehyung suddenly start that live session, without warning? And why did Jungkook join, as if they had arranged everything from afar? Fans are wondering, is there something they are secretly communicating? Especially after the shocking fact was revealed that the two of them were in Los Angeles not just for vacation, but for one personal mission, to get matching tattoos. I ask this a sign of eternal bonding? Or is it a farewell message they don't want to say in person? Many have wondered if this has anything to do with previous rumors, including about BTS's future, the mental state of each member, and the ever-increasing pressure from the company as well as public expectations. Even more harrowing and confusing, none of the other BTS members were seen with them during the moment. In fact, just a day earlier, all four members, Taehyung, Jungkook, RM, and Jimin, took part in a chaotic Weverse live, full of laughter but also lots of technical glitches. But why is it that suddenly the next day, only Taehyung and Jungkook are seen together? And not only that they chose a very personal place to visit, a tattoo studio, not just any tattoo. The design has not yet been officially released, but rumors suggest that the shape symbolizes a two-way heart, a symbol that could mean love, loyalty, or even a two-way breakup. Many attributed it to their emotional confessions during an Instagram live. Taehyung talked about love and loss, while Jungkook seemed at times speechless, as if he was holding back something he wanted to express but couldn't. Are they conveying feelings that cannot be explained in words? Or is it commemorating something important just for the two of them? Why do they choose tattoos as a form of expression? And even more disturbing, why should it be in LA, and why should it be without other members? Fans were quick to attribute this moment to various theories that have been circulating for a long time. One of the most powerful is about the internal dynamics of BTS, which has recently become a subject of discussion. Since Jin returned from military service and Suga began to disappear from the public more often, the atmosphere of the group looks more and more mysterious. Even during the previous Weverse Live, the interaction between the members felt different. There was laughter, yes, but there are also pauses. There was awkwardness. There was a silence that felt too long to be called normal. And now, this moment of tattooing seems to justify everything. There's something going on behind the scenes. And somehow, only Taehyung and Jungkook are involved. Fans began to wonder, is it about a solo project? Is it about a personal decision that cannot yet be announced? Or are they preparing a farewell, not just from each other, but from the group? Their journey to LA is now seen with very different glasses. It is no longer considered a short trip to escape the South Korean spotlight, but rather a personal ritual. In some of the photos that fans managed to capture, the two can be seen dressed in all black, sneaking into the tattoo studio, and coming out a few hours later with serious expressions, and without a single word. No smiles. No waving. Just shut up. One studio staffer, who declined to be named, said, "What they do is not just about tattoos. They came with intent. They know exactly what they want. And it was very emotional. We barely spoke during the process. They speak their own language silence." Did they just leave their last message for BTS? For the ARMY? Or is this the beginning of something that only they know, and we can only guess with tears and anxiety? Their presence in LA is also tinged with several other clues that further strengthen this suspicion. In one of the videos that went viral on X, formerly Twitter, Jungkook is seen sitting pensively on a hotel balcony with earphones in his ears, playing back the song, "Still With You." And behind it, Taehyung is drawing something in his sketchbook. Is that a tattoo symbol? Is that a message? While fans are busy deconstructing every second of their live broadcast, Instagram continues to be flooded with comments full of anger, tears, and speculation. There are many reasons why the show only lasted 11 minutes. But many more regretted that they had to convey something so emotional in such a short time. And worse, many of the ARMY did not even get a notification at all. A painful irony. When two idols try to tell the truth, the system fails to connect them, and the question is now more and more resonant, wrenching and shaking. What does the tattoo really mean? What are they hiding? Why only Taehyung and Jungkook do it? Where are the other members now? These questions not only touched on ARMY's emotional side, but also raised a long-standing concern. Is this a sign that BTS, as we know it, is changing forever? Will the two tattooed hearts walk together, or separate in different directions? There has been no clarification from HYB's side or from the two artists. But clearly, tattoos are not just ink on the skin. It was a message. And ARMY knows, when Taehyung and Jungkook decide to do something together, and it's just the two of them, it's not a random decision. Now the world is waiting. Waiting for an answer. Waiting for clarity. But one thing is certain. That night in Los Angeles, two idols made personal history. And that history is now written on their skin, and in the hearts of millions of soldiers around the world. That night in Los Angeles was quieter than usual. Not because the city has lost its glitter, but because the world's spotlight has fallen on one small, barely visible spot on the map. A tattoo studio that is now a silent witness to what may have been the most personal and emotional decision in the lives of two global stars. Taehyung and Jungkook, who for years were known as two sides of the same coin in the BTS extended family, suddenly became one entity separate from the rest. Only they, in a quiet space, Menggurat meaning in their skin. But no one really knows what the strokes mean. The question remains the same, and more burning in the hearts of fans. Why? Why just the two of them? And why at this moment? No prior announcement. No explanation afterwards. Just a short, joke-colored and silent broadcast, and after that a tattoo. The rumors continue to grow. Some said that the tattoo symbolizes the anniversary of their debut as a duo in one of the yet-to-be-announced special projects. But an even more astounding theory is that the tattoo symbolizes a personal promise between the two, a promise made long before they were popular. Perhaps even when they were trainees. One of the pieces of an old video from 2015 suddenly went viral again on social media. In the video, Jungkook and Taehyung promise each other that no matter what happens, they will support each other, even as the world changes. If one day we can't be on the same stage, we'll still be there for each other. Even if it's just the two of us, Taehyung said at that time, while laughing a little. But who would have thought, 10 years later, that sentence could feel like a painful prophecy? Many fans are starting to see that their move to LA is no coincidence, not a fugitive. Rather, it is a kind of celebration that only the two of them understand, or rather, a kind of recognition of the reality they face. In one screenshot from Live, when Taehyung paused for a moment and looked at Jungkook, there was a look in his eyes that made many fans feel like they had something to say but were deliberately kept. You know, sometimes we need our own way to feel one, Jungkook said on the broadcast, before quickly switching the subject. The ARMY has not forgotten. Not forgetting his tone. Not forgetting the way he looked at Taehyung after that sentence. Are they separated from BTS? Are they trying to create their own space in an industry pressure that never stops demanding? Or is this the way they say, we are still one, even when everything changes? What happened after they left the tattoo studio was the subject of great speculation. No media caught them. Some fans called their stay in a different location than usual, not in the luxury hotel where the artist lives, but in a more private and secluded rental house. There, they were seen several times out at night, just the two of them, without staff, without cameras. Like wanting to enjoy the world without demands, just for a moment, and at the same time, the absence of other members became increasingly noticeable. RM has been active on Weverse, posting pictures of himself in the music studio. Jimin appeared on Instagram stories with a short caption, "Take your time." Jin and J-Hope haven't given any response yet. Suga, as usual, remained silent. No one mentioned Taehyung and Jungkook's live broadcast. No one mentioned tattoos. It was as if they chose not to see, or chose to let the moment belong to just the two of them. The emotional tension the ARMY felt around the world was unstoppable. Many write outpourings on social media. Are they going to separate? Wrote an ARMY from Brazil. Why does it feel like a silent farewell? Wrote another from South Korea. The tattoo is like the last fastener before something big happens, said one fan from Indonesia, who even admitted to crying while watching the live replay many times. There is one thing that keeps coming back to be mentioned in all discussions: honesty. Jungkook and Taehyung, behind all the mysteries they create, are two people who are always honest in their own way. They may not say everything, but their expressions, their attitudes, and the symbols they choose, like this tattoo, always speak louder than words. And precisely because of this moment becomes so painful. Because in their silence, there are so many unanswered questions. Why now? What's the real meaning? What will happen after this? When traced further, it turns out that the tattoo studio they went to is known as a favorite place for a number of celebrities who want to convey personal stories through artwork on the skin. A tattoo artist there hinted that the project is twin tattoos with very deep meaning. He declined to name the design directly, but gave a clue. It's a compass with no direction, just two hearts beating next to each other. The sentence immediately sparked a storm of theories. Compass with no direction. Two hearts beat side by side. Do they feel lost? Or are looking for a new way together? Right now, the one thing that was most striking was HYB's silence. There is no clarification. There is no official statement. Whereas usually, in the slightest case, the agency will rush to calm the public. But now it's quiet. It's as if they can't, or don't want to, touch this moment either. As if they even knew This is not the business of the company. It's about two people who have grown up together for over a decade and are now trying to understand who they really are in the midst of an ever-changing mess. Maybe that's why the brief broadcast felt so intense. Amidst the millions of eyes that kept staring, they only had 11 minutes. But in those 11 minutes, they showed more than just laughter and jokes. They showed